I'm Helen and welcome back to our series of Easter reflections. Last time we looked at Jesus having the Last Supper with his disciples. Today we are going to look at what happened during Good Friday. Now if you ever watch the news or read the newspaper, you'll see lots of stories about people being treated fairly because of their actions. For example, people who are caught speeding on the motorway have to pay a fine and get points on their driving licence. Other people who are guilty of more serious crimes could have to pay larger fines or even spend some time in prison. These are examples of justice or fairness. These people have done things wrong and then face the consequences or punishment. But what about injustice? What about when things are not fair? Many programmes have been made about people who were wrongly sent to prison for crimes they didn't commit. Some people have spent decades in prison, even though they are innocent. Sometimes things happen that are not fair. As we look at the events of Good Friday, I want you to think about whether Jesus faced justice or injustice. After the Last Supper, Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane, where he was arrested. The next day, Jesus was taken to Pilate the governor. Jesus was accused of being the King of the Jews. Other charges were brought against Jesus too, but Jesus said nothing. At this time of year, it was tradition for the governor to release a prisoner. There were two options: Barabbas, who was guilty of killing someone, or Jesus. Pilate asked the crowd who he should release. The crowd shouted, "Barabbas!" The crowd wanted Jesus to be crucified, even though he had not committed any crimes. So Barabbas, who was guilty, was set free, while Jesus, who was innocent, was handed over to be crucified. The soldiers beat Jesus. They put a scarlet robe on him and a crown made of thorns. They made fun of him, they spat on him, and they repeatedly hit him on the head. A man called Simon carried the cross for Jesus until they reached a place called Golgotha. Jesus was nailed to a cross. They tried to offer him wine vinegar to drink, but he refused it. A sign was put above his head saying, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Two other people were crucified either side of Jesus. As people walked past Jesus on the cross, they continued to insult him and make fun of him. In the afternoon, it went dark for 3 hours. At 3 p.m, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Then Jesus died. So, did Jesus face justice or injustice? Well, it wasn't fair that Barabbas, who was a criminal, was set free, but Jesus, who had done nothing wrong, was put to death. Jesus was being punished for something he didn't do. So why did Jesus die? Well, Christians believe that Jesus willingly died on the cross, and that when Jesus died, he was taking the blame for the wrong things that people say, think, and do. For Christians, Jesus' death is important because it means that people can be forgiven and that people can have a friendship with God. But I wonder, have you ever experienced injustice? How did it make you feel? How could you help others who face injustice? Thank you for listening. Now is the time for you to think and reflect about what you have heard. There is a sheet that accompanies this video which you can print off and complete. Alternatively, you can keep watching and the questions will appear on the screen. You will need to pause the video after each question and write down the question and your answer.